guys, welcome back to BrandiShariTV. My name is Brandy, and today I'm coming at you guys with an update video on my first year in respiratory school. I just finished my second semester in spring, and it was, we'll get into what it was. It was definitely challenging, and yeah. So I've kind of taken a break from YouTube because I really didn't know if I could continue doing YouTube, honestly. I was so busy with my semester and I did not expect it to be that busy. I thought I could really just like pace myself, but I really couldn't pace myself. So I was like, I don't want like the pressure of posting because, you know, I was getting new subscribers daily. And I want to welcome my new subscribers too. If you're new, welcome to BrandiShariTV. I think I said that in the beginning. But if I didn't, welcome to all my subscribers. So yeah, let's get into my second semester of respiratory school. Here's a question I've been getting a lot actually, and that is if I'm still in respiratory school, and the answer is yes. I pretty much just explained why I had to take a break, but yeah, I'm definitely still in respiratory school. This semester was definitely challenging because I was just so busy. Like, we had Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, ranging from like, we had 8 a.m. on Friday, 9 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday. And I hate to like really like get into like bring back these memories of how miserable I was, but I just want to give y'all like an overview. So we had classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like I said. Tuesday, Thursday, clinical. Monday, Wednesday, we had classes from 9 to about 3:30, depending on, you know, what we were going over. And those are just really long days. Like, it was days of just complete, like, you have to know this, you have to know this, you have to know this. One thing about this program that I'm learning is that it's not the semester or the classes that are difficult. It's the workload. Like, I could not figure out what was going on last semester. Like, I was so tired every single day. And in my first video, I talked about how I would just be tired from coming from school, and you know, we would have a rest day on like Thursday where we didn't have any classes. We weren't in clinical last year. We didn't have like labs to go to. It was pretty much just our day off. You get some rest, you know, stay in, you know, catch up on things, you know, read over things before the next day of class on Friday. But we did not have that this year. Had classes throughout the entire week, and I work weekends. So a lot of people, you know, they work during the week or they don't have to work at all. But I work weekends, so I really never had a break. Like, I don't have any days that I don't wake up super early, like, honestly. With school, I was so busy, y'all. I was so busy. And, you know, I always say this, like, maybe other people didn't feel how I feel. Like, some people were able to, like, you know, just keep up with other things outside of school, or you know, just start up stuff. But I honestly could not make the time for it. Like, I work weekends, so days that people would usually be resting, or like if they did give themselves an off day, I didn't have that option because I only work weekends, and that's what fits best for my schedule because I don't want to go to work after class. Like, I don't really like doing that, but then again, I don't get any breaks on the weekend. So, I mean, it's like, you know, I wouldn't be happy either way, honestly. I took pharm, I took procedures, which is basically like an equipment class. I took pulmonary diseases, PFT, and I believe that's it, and a lab for PFT. So those are the classes that I was taking. Also with clinical, and we also had like a IPE communications class. It's just basically interprofessional, forget what it stands for. It's like interprofessional, like communication, like just basically knowing the roles of other professions in the hospital and how to communicate with them in a respectful manner. That's pretty much what it is. And it actually was a pretty helpful class, I'm not gonna lie. Learned a little bit from it. I could do without it being on Friday, but you know, I learned a little bit, so I guess it's like a give or take. But so those are my classes, and then Tuesday and Thursday I had clinical, which I want to say I woke up at 4 a.m. every Tuesday and Thursday, but literally I didn't. Like, as the weeks got on further and further in the semester, we had like test after test after test. I said before, my clinical was like 40 minutes out, so I mean, Atlanta traffic and then it being 40 minutes out, it just wasn't the best days for me. Although I did learn a lot at my clinical, and I'm actually like pleasantly surprised because I actually had never heard of that hospital because it's just so far out my range, my area. But I learned so much. We were able to attend codes. They actually urged us to attend codes, and we were very active in the codes. We were also attending rounds. We were doing ABGs. We were doing a lot of hands-on things. I mean, like trach care, just assisting. It was never unsupervised, but they were definitely allowing us to be more hands-on, and they would kind of like coach in the background, and I really appreciated that type of learning. So I talked to a couple other students, and it's like they weren't even touching patients like their first month of clinicals, and here I am my first day doing codes, blood gases, like all that type of stuff. I was doing all of that, and here I am with a student who hadn't even touched the patient, hadn't run a neb, hadn't given any treatments. So I'm actually pretty happy that I traveled out further, because a lot of the students at the locations that were closer to me weren't able to do as much hands-on activities as we were able to do. Now, they were always supervised. It would just be unassisted, if you know what I mean. Like, they would just be in the background kind of coaching us, telling us, you know, what to do or whatever, but we would be the ones actually doing it. Or sometimes they wouldn't say anything. They would just be like, hey, I'm such and such, this is my student, and she's gonna be the one taking care of you today, to kind of, you know, set you up. And then boom, now you're the one doing the treatments, getting the, you know, the patient assessment, patient info, all that good stuff, talking to them, just as if you're the respiratory therapist. So I really appreciated my hospital for doing that. I kind of like went off of the schoolwork. So let's go back to the schoolwork, because I pretty much summed up how my clinical was. The only con about my clinical is just the distance we have to travel. You know, it just wasn't my best day. I didn't really enjoy waking up early and then like struggling to get back home. I didn't really appreciate that. So that would probably be the only con for the hospital. But for the most part, it's a great clinical experience. Very hands-on, very nice people. But I will be going to another clinical site in fall, so that's probably when I'll do like another clinical video, because it'll be an ICU rotation, not just floor work, which is just, you know, ABGs, neb treatments. It'll be vents involved as well. Looking back, the actual work wasn't difficult. It was just the workload. Like, I don't know if it was just me. I always say this, I'm not sure if it's just me that feels like the workload was just crazy. Not everybody's the same. You may not have the same problems as me, but girl, I was tired. I was like, girl, super stressed. Like, finals, I was just so overwhelmed. Like, the amount of finals we had, just the amount of classes we had in the finals. Some people had, you know, their last exam and then their final the next week. Some people had their final in 1 week along with their lab final in the same week. Like, it was just, I was just like, I am so ready for this semester to be over. Y'all have like done me wrong for the last week. Like, when I leave, I'm not coming back. Like, y'all, it was crazy. And it was just so many exams. It was so many exams. And, you know, like I said before, like I always say, like, of course, there are going to be some people that are like, oh, yeah, of course, like, it's a lot of exams. But, you know, that's, you know, expected. And that's true. It is expected. But honestly, like, hearing them, people talk about it and then, like, actually going through it, it's like, wow. This is like really like testing everything in me. Like, do I really want to graduate, or do I want to like stay in bed? Like, cause I'm like really tired. Like, I could really do it out this class, but I know I can't. I don't know, y'all. It was a crazy semester. Now, as far as like my studying goes, I pretty much only used flashcards for pharmacology, because that's the only thing we really needed to just memorize, if you know what I mean. Like, if you can memorize the name and memorize like what it does, then you're pretty much good to go. But for things that we kind of had to understand, like diseases, pulmonary diseases, like knowing the difference between CB and emphysema, or knowing like obstructive versus restrictive lung diseases and how they work on the lungs and stuff like that. that's where I couldn't use the flashcards, because although, you know, they can be pretty big, I'm looking for a bigger one, but although you can have like pretty big flashcards, I don't like reading too much off the flashcards. And if I have to like truly understand it, I'm better off just doing like my pre-notes and my post-notes. I don't really do the flashcards. They don't really help me grasp it. I need to like really get engaged with it to understand it, if you know what I mean. And that's where I guess clinical would come into play, because we would be talking about diseases, and when you see it on the chart and you look at the patient, you're like, okay, this is what, you know, accessory muscle use looks like, or like clubbed fingers looks like, or, you know, cyanosis, peripheral cyanosis versus central cyanosis, like just different stuff like that. And you actually like see what's going on, and then it, you know, gets your brain going like, okay, so this is what's going on in the lungs. This is why I hear these lung sounds. This is what we're gonna do to fix it. I don't know, it's just, it all made sense this semester, but people are saying in summer when I do vent classes, it'll be like bingo, like the lights should go off in our head, like, okay, all this is coming like full circle. But definitely I feel like things are coming full circle the second semester, because the first semester, like, I was good, but I was like, I was a little bit more like iffy on stuff. Like, I knew this stuff because they told me to know it, if you know what I mean. Like, I knew it because I knew it. But now when I see it like on a person, or like now that we're going more into depth with more classes going more into depth than the first, I'm like seeing like, okay, this is what this, of course their CO would be this number because they're hyperventilating or hypoventilating, like stuff like that. And it actually just comes full circle. So that's one thing that I did get from this semester, other than a bunch of stress eating, I don't know, just an overall like funk. Everything did start to make a lot more sense. I'm getting more comfortable to the point where it's like, you know, okay, like I do feel comfortable doing these kind of things, because I do feel like, you know, I'm a bit prepared to do these type of things, or, you know, the information has been given to me to be able to do these kind of things, if you know what I mean. As far as like patient care and like how a normal day, all of my professors pretty much said, you know, it's the fatigue that gets the students at this point. We're tired, we're overworked, you know, it's nothing like the first semester as far as the material we need to know, the amount of work we're doing. Because I don't know about the other students, but at my clinical site, y'all, I was knees to chest the entire time. Like, I am running, you hear me? We're going from room to room. I go in the back and sit down. They're like, oh, do you want to see how to do this? And of course, you have to be like, hell yeah, I want to see. My classmates and I were running, okay? Like, some days we had slow days where we would get like, you know, a small assignment, but we had a smaller hospital, so it was a smaller staff, but you know, patients still need care, excuse me. So sometimes we would get put with a preceptor with a heavier patient load, so we would be running with them the entire day. And it was to the point where we would be like, you know what, we have to meet at this time for lunch, because, you know, we can't go without eating. Like, you know, trying to do that, I don't know how people do that multiple days. I did that one day and I was like, never again. I almost fell out. Like, I'm feeling myself like, I'm not trying to be like extra, but I'm like feeling myself like dying. Like, my body is shutting down. I'm like starvation mode times 10. Like, girl, get me some food. I need some peanut butter crackers or something. Like, I need something. And yeah, I felt that way one day, ate, and I was like, whoa, like that was scary. Like, I'm never gonna do that again. It's not worth the feeling. I don't know if people just don't feel it as strong, or maybe people do and they just have a better tolerance to being hungry and like on the verge of dying. But girl, you know, I had to eat. So I definitely, one tip I can put in here for clinical days, make sure you have time for you to eat, because you're running. Like, respiratory therapists, they don't really have time to sit down. You're in a patient's room, you're waiting on them to finish their nebs, and it's not like, oh, let me just pop a squat, kick my feet up in your room. No, you're standing there, you're doing other things, like looking up the next patient, asking them questions. Like, you're on your feet a lot. So you definitely are burning a lot of energy. You feel like you need to eat, girl, you need to go eat. Because when I tell you, the hospital, the first thing they're gonna say is, why didn't you eat? What made you not want to eat? Like, what made you, why didn't you, you know what I mean? Because they know. So I am taking classes this summer semester, taking a pediatric class, a mechanical vent class, and I believe maybe I'm taking 2 labs and my clinical, which I'm gonna try to get over with before, you know, the end of the semester. I don't really want to do it during the semester. If I can like knock it out, I do it that way. Yeah, I start classes next week. It kind of just, it came so fast. I feel like, girl, like I just seen y'all, like summer classes, really? I ain't ready for it, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. The last semester, pretty much, will be here before we know it. I'll be doing my externship, y'all, and your girl is gonna be graduating. Each class that you take, each semester that you complete, you're putting that one behind you and just getting closer to graduating, y'all. And I'm just so ready to graduate. I'm so excited for it. God willing, because I do still have summer semester, fall semester, and spring semester to go. Really, spring semester doesn't count because it's just your externship, and it's a class that we take that just helps us like review. But yeah, I just have to get through these last 2 semesters, and your girl is about to graduate. Like, I'm so ready to be done with this. So ready to start my career. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to be a little bit more active on YouTube, just because, you know, it's going to be done pretty soon, and I don't want me being so busy to take away from like what I really want to do, which is document my experience and, you know, just help someone else out if they were like looking for YouTube videos. I remember when I got into respiratory school and I was looking for, you know, other respiratory YouTubers, just to see like maybe I can see like, okay, what a glimpse of what their day may be. And I did find some, but I didn't find many. Some of them were like a little older, so things may have changed since then, I'm not sure. But that's why I want to continue to make these videos. So like I said, I'm going to try to be more active with these videos. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you guys want to see, what you guys want me to talk about. I have successfully completed my first year in respiratory school. Yay! I've done my clinical rotation, so anything that you guys want to know, please leave a comment or a like if you like this video, and let me know like what type of videos y'all want to see. I'm kind of trying to lean more towards vlogging for the summer, just because it'll be a lot more shorter days for the most part, and you know, it's a short class. It's not really a full semester. It's not a full semester at all. It's only 6 or 7 weeks of a semester. So I'm going to try to gear more towards daily vlogging. It'll be a lot more fun because it's summertime, so y'all know stuff is popping. It's Georgia. I'm in Atlanta, so y'all already know it's gonna be lit this summer. So just let me know what type of videos y'all want to see. Thank you for watching this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good jazz, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.